Hello and welcome. I am Caro. I am a Peruvian visual artist based in the Hudson Valley, and in today's video I wanted to share with you a little bit about how I ship my online orders. For the past 6 years I've had an online shop selling my artwork, and I've tried to make it as sustainable as possible. So I thought of filming today's video and sharing with you all the shipping supplies that I use when I ship orders from my shop. So let's get straight into it. I will start with the outward packaging that I use and then go into the inner packing that I use for my orders. I mainly ship art prints and art originals. They shift in sizes. I have artwork as small as like a 3x3 sticker and as big as a 30x30 inch archival limited edition print. I also have a couple of physical products, but these are the supplies that I use the most. I mainly ship my order in rigid mailers. I use mainly these two sizes. 12.75 by 15 inch, which is this one here, is the main size that I work with, and I have a smaller one which is around 9 by 11 inches, and I get these through Eco Enclose. They are pretty much my all favorite time shipping supply company. This video is not sponsored by Eco Enclose. I just genuinely love Eco Enclose a lot, and I do have an affiliate code. So in case any of the things that I share throughout this video by Eco Enclose that you like, feel free to use this affiliate link that I have, as it will get you a little discount and it will get me a little discount on my next order from them. So win-win. But anyhow, I love these rigid mailers. These, both of them, either size. As you can see, they have different options. So they have tabs to lock them, or they also have like a self-adhesive version. This is the size that I use the most, and it only comes with a tab locking option. So then I use a tape to close this down, which I'll get into in a bit. But yeah, these are rigid enough that I don't need to include another envelope inside or anything of that sort. Mostly everything that I ship both internationally and within the United States where I live. But anyhow, these are 100% recycled kraft paper mailers, 90% post-consumer paper. And for years I've used these. I just add my stamp in the bottom. I wanted to share with you that I recently custom made my first mailers, rigid mailers, this size actually, and I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait for them to arrive and share those with you. While organizing myself to film this video, I came to realize that there's so much that I would also love to share about how to make custom packing for your online shop. So please let me know if that's a video you would like to see. I would be so happy to film that. But yeah, I use my rigid mailers, which I love. And then the other main way that I ship my stuff is on tubes. This is something that I'm transitioning out of. As you can see, these tubes are made from 100% recycled kraft, but both sides come with plastic caps, and I'm done. This is like the last part of plastic that I have on my shipping, and once I run through all the shipping tubes that I have, which come with the plastic cups, I think I will be transitioning to regular square cardboard boxes. Those are made of 100% paper, and I will give them a try. I haven't done that yet because these are way more sturdy than the boxes. Boxes, if they are put underneath and there's something with a lot of weight on top, they might collapse. I think I'll give it a try because I'm done using these plastic cups. The last company that I bought my kraft tubes with plastic lids from is Apple Ltd. And I did that because I love supporting small businesses rather than huge conglomerates, and they are somehow local to my area. They're based in Connecticut, and the only downside was that the shipping was very expensive, but it was what had to be done. Before that, I had worked with Uline, and I still have some Uline tubes left. So something that I wanted to share within this video is I truly stand by use what you already have. So if you have something made out of plastic, if you have the not most sustainable packaging materials right now, it's better to use those than get new, more sustainable ones, and then the ones that you have, just leave them in your home because it's still creating more garbage. But those are my 2 cents. Take what serves, leave what doesn't resonate with you. I will go through all my tubes before I switch to my boxes. So I usually get like 3 sizes of tubes. The width that I usually get is 3 inches because I've come to realize that gives the print that I roll enough space for it to, you know, be a nice customer experience, to be open. If you have a paper print and make it very small, then the actual fibers from the paper might get ruined. So 3 inches is a nice size to roll out paper prints. And I usually get like 3 sizes of tubes, and then if I need something smaller, I just cut it off and then reuse that. And this was a custom made box that I did for my yoga mats, and these I printed back in 2021. I only printed 250 because that's the amount of yoga mats that I custom made, and these were made for the yoga mats. So now that I'm thinking of switching to cardboard boxes, I may bring these artwork back and just make these be my new tubes for any big prints. So this was a very special project for me because it was my first time ever making custom shipping materials, and I printed them with algae ink. And algae ink is an ink that is not only carbon neutral, but it's actually carbon negative, so it sequesters carbon from the environment. I read on Eco Enclosed, that's where I printed them, on their website, that for every bucket of algae ink, they don't specify the size of the bucket, but for every bucket of algae ink, the same amount of carbon is sequestered by the algae ink than it is by 2 trees. So I thought that was rad. Usually ink is made using petroleum derived materials, so this is a great alternative. And the mailers that I just custom made, which they haven't arrived yet, I just ordered them 2 days ago. Those are also printed with algae ink, and algae seems to be the future, you guys. So these were for my yoga mats, and I guess this would also go into outer packaging, but I use these envelopes mainly for my Patreon. This has been the last month that I'm doing Patreon rewards, which were a postcard and a sticker mailed to my patrons each month. But anyhow, I custom made these envelopes through envelope.com. This was my first time doing anything custom with this company. I made sure to order envelopes that were made out of 100% recycled paper, and it was important to me to have like a cute color that matched my artwork palette, while at the same time make it as eco as possible. So I just included my address, which is necessary for the mail service. I included a little hummingbird art, and on the other side it says, "Magic Mail, please reuse or recycle." For the mailers and the tubes that I just showed you, I use a stamp that says please reuse or recycle. That's very important for me because I reuse or recycle everything that comes to my studios. But yeah, moving forward into the shipping supplies that I use for inside the packages. The first thing that I wanted to share with you was tissue paper. I made a custom tissue paper back in 2019 or 2020, in between those years. And I did this one color tissue paper, which I ordered with my artwork, and this was so much fun to do. This was ordered from No Issue, and their tissue paper is made out of 30% recycled paper and 70% virgin paper, so new paper. And that 70% of virgin paper is made with FSC certified paper. So I loved my paper. I love doing all the artwork for it, and I also included some messages like my website. There's a part where it says nature is our friend. There's also my old Instagram handle, and I ordered these and got so many of them that even though I ordered back in 2019 or 2020, I just ran out of them 2 months ago. And for now, I won't be ordering new tissue paper because No Issue has not been the most transparent company out there. I know they have so much beauty and so much to offer, and they do a lot of sustainability focused efforts. In my opinion, they were not very transparent about their manufacturing chain, but I actually just emailed them asking more information about their chain of manufacturing. Long story short, back in the day when I ordered these from their site, if you would go to their website, they would specify how they are always trying to be as sustainable as possible. So they showed all the manufactured companies that they have across the world. And I thought if they have manufacturing companies in the States and I'm ordering for the States, then they most definitely are having my paper made, printed, and shipped from the States to the States. But I actually received a package coming from China, and there's nothing wrong with ordering things from China. Don't get me wrong. I think that what is wrong is that they were not that transparent as a company. I have personally made printing in China. I printed my yoga mats in China, and in my website I have a whole page talking about how these were the most sustainable yoga mats that I could make. And at the same time, I don't market them as sustainable yoga mats because they had a carbon footprint coming all the way from China to the United States. And there were amazing things about the mats that I made. They were made with recycled plastic bottles. They were made using plant-based inks. They were made in a company that has all the certifications that ensure that this company is paying fair labor and there's no child labor and so many other things, but I'm going down a rabbit hole. Long story short, they were not as transparent, so I will try to wait until I can find a company that makes custom tissue paper that is hopefully 100% recycled and post-consumer material, while at the same time making it in the same country that I live. So I know that Eco Enclosed has tissue paper and you can even make it with algae ink, but the minimum order quantity is like 10,000 units, and that, being the teeny tiny small business that I am, is not something that's on my budget, and it's just not something that I have enough space to have in my art studio. It's a lot of tissue paper. So for now, I'm just using 100% recycled tissue paper, no branding, no custom making, and I will keep exploring to see what's out there, because something that I love is nerding about the art supplies that I use and finding companies that I might want to try out. So if I find one, I'll keep you posted. Then let's go into some of the freebies that I include in my orders. I usually include one postcard or one sticker in my orders, and I have made a bunch of different types of postcards with my artwork. I love creating postcards and then making a fun background, and I usually include my website on the backside. One-on-one marketing. So I include postcards. I make these through Moo, and Moo also, not sponsored by Moo. I do have a referral code in case you want to try them out. That gives you a discount, that gives me a discount on my next order, so win-win. And I use their standard size postcard, which is 4 by 6 inches. These are unfortunately not recycled paper, but I have great news. So these are not recycled paper. They are 100% FSC certified, which is great. The quality of the artwork comes out amazing. And the good thing is that this was my last month ordering postcards for Patreon and postcards in general. And once I run out of the gazillion amount of postcards that I have, I will make sure to reorder my new ones through Moo, because now, of course, now when I don't make postcards anymore, they now offer a recycled paper option for their postcards. So that's something that excites me for the future. But then again, first I will use the ones that I already have. this year. You probably have heard me say this so many times, but 2024 is the year that I want to start making my own stationery line, just like the postcards, you know. So as I've been wanting to make my own line of stationery this year, I've been taking a class called From Painting to Products Fundamental Class, and I took it through Skillshare. I've been using Skillshare since 2018, and it's actually one of my favorite online learning platforms. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry pros across so many industries like film, illustration, design, painting, crafting, music, and so much more. If you're watching this video, you're most likely interested in starting your own e-commerce, your own online business, or just to deepen your knowledge. If you're not sure where you want to start, Skillshare has designed learning paths, which are hand-picked classes meant to be taken in order that build on one another, reinforcing lessons. I am now taking Skillshare's leading path, create and promote your personal brand with zero experience. And I am very excited to be partnering up with Skillshare. We are offering the first 500 people that click on the first link on this video's description 1 month free access to Skillshare's gazillion of classes. Whether you're looking to jumpstart a creative business or just looking to deepen any hobbies, Skillshare is a beautiful platform to explore and keep learning together at your own pace. So thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back into all things packaging. As I was saying, I usually also send stickers as a gift in my orders, and I'm so happy to share with you that I make my stickers on 100% recycled kraft paper. So I've been making kraft stickers for years now. I've done vinyl stickers in the past, and I'll get to that in a second, but so these are amazing. The downside of these stickers is that they are not water resistant, so they are mainly for indoor usage, not outdoor like your helmet or your bike or your car or whatever, your tumbler. So I send these. I also still have a lot of vinyl stickers, which is what I used to do in the past. And these, as all types of vinyl stickers, are made out of plastic. But if I would have to do vinyl stickers again, I would try to make them with a company that I use my craft stickers with, which is Sticker App. Anytime that I've needed custom service, they're amazing. Anyhow, if you are looking for vinyl stickers, they offer a more sustainable version of vinyl stickers than the traditional ones. I never got to make mine with Sticker App because they have craft and I'd rather do craft. But before that, I've worked with Vinyl Disorder and with one more company, which I cannot remember right now, but I'm sure I'll put it here somewhere. So I have these, so don't get surprised if I ship your order, if you order anything from my shop with these, because they're already made. I'm not making new vinyl stickers. So now into the other stuff. I don't know how to call this section. These are the shipping labels that I use. These are the eco-enclosed zero waste liners. That's how they're called. And these are awesome. These are letter sized paper. I get 2 shipping labels. So there's an adhesive for each of them. And I use my regular printer. I don't have one of those like teeny tiny thermal printers that a lot of e-commerce brands have. But I already have a printer, so I think I don't need a new one. These are the ones that I use. What is great about these is that this is 100% recycled paper, 100% post-consumer paper. And the great news is that this liner is 100% recyclable in curbside. I don't ship these to the clients that get my orders. These stays with me and I recycle them through my curbside recycling system. If my print is a couple inches bigger than my tube, I use these, like I make a little ball and use them as little cushion for the sides. So these are my shipping labels. Something also that I wanted to mention is I feel we're all trying to be as sustainable as possible, also within the budget that we have in our business. We are doing what we can. ¿Qué más? Now, before I go into all things tape, I wanted to say that you might be wondering if I use any sort of plastic film in order to protect my artwork. So mostly what I ship is made out of paper, right? And I do not use any plastic bags to wrap up the print. I don't either use any of those non-plastic transparent film looking bags. Those like plastic, non-plastic bags that are made out of plant cellulose or seaweed or whatever it is. And the reason why I don't use those is because most of those non-plastic, plastic-looking bags are either recyclable or compostable or biodegradable in very specific ways. So if it's compostable, it's usually industrial compostable, so not like home compostable, or it's biodegradable in 500 years, or it's recyclable through a very specific program that only works in very specific states or countries. So I ship my art worldwide, and I personally don't even know how to recycle those. And in the 6 years that I've been shipping artwork without the plastic bag, I've probably gotten 3 or 4 times that someone reaches out saying like, Caro, my artwork arrived soaking wet and it was damaged in transit because X, Y, and Z, and you know, a plastic bag might have helped. So for me, it's more affordable and it makes more sense to send that print again once I get a picture of the soaked one and replace it than it is to just ship plastic bags to every single order that I get. It makes sense because it's so little, the ones that actually get damaged, in comparison to all the plastic that I would be creating. So I don't use any glassine or those transparent looking bags. I have been looking into glassine as an option for the future, but that's something that I will get into at some other point. So the last thing that I want to share with you, I know this is a lot of information, are the type of tapes that I use. So for closing out my rigid mailers, my tubes, and my yoga boxes, I need some sort of tape. The one that I've been using for years is this self-adhesive tape from Net Zero company, and it's so cute. It has a lot of like tiny drawings on it. It already has the adhesive on it, so you don't need to activate it with water. The thing though is it has some sort of reinforcement, so it's not 100% paper, and I'm not sure what type of adhesive they have. I've been doing research, but I couldn't find any information because this tape has been discontinued by the brand. I bought it, and a few months later the brand came out with a statement saying, sorry guys, this is not the most sustainable tape we could have made. We've come to realize, I'm not sure what it was. I don't know if it was synthetic adhesive, I don't know if it was a plastic film, I am not sure, but they stopped producing this tape because they knew that they could do better, which is wildly beautiful. Like, we don't see a lot of brands really like saying like, hey, we're learning and this is not it, so we'll reroute. I have a bunch of tape from that one time I ordered it in 2021. So once I finish this tape, I think I'm 100% switching to water activated tape, which I have been using for like parallel. So this tape is super helpful for me to close my yoga mats because, as you saw, it's just a piece of carton, and it does need some sort of tape to put the box together if I'm not using any glue, which I'm not. So this has been my to-go tape. It's a water activated tape that has some cute little drawings printed with algae ink. Once again, eco enclosed, and you just spray some water and your tape becomes adhesive. The other type of tape that I use, but I very rarely use it, is this Silo tape, also by Eco Enclosed. So whenever we get like a transparent tape, like 3M adhesive tape, it's usually made out of plastic with a synthetic adhesive on the back. This one, on the other hand, is made with plant-derived materials, and the adhesive is made out of natural rubber. The downside of it is it comes all the way from Spain, so there's definitely a cost from moving across seas. I have this one as a last resource when my yoga box for some reason is not holding up with the adhesive tape, so I just have these pretty much for emergencies. And that is everything that I use. I hope that I didn't miss anything. If you have any questions for me regarding shipping and packing, please let me know. Also, let me know if you want to see a whole video on how to make your own custom packaging supplies, because I've been diving into it for the last 6 years, so maybe I have 2 cents to add to the conversation. Thank you once again, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Make sure to click the first link on this video's description if you want to be one of the 500 people to take advantage of them offering 1 month free. And if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. And that's it. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. If you are most likely starting or already running your online business, you got this. You got this. I trust you. And I cheer you up. Let's make more amazing, sustainable small businesses around the world. Bye!